This chapter examines the mechanisms by which business strategy is transformed into tangible IS architecture and infrastructure. The architecture provides a blueprint for translating business strategy into a plan for IS. The infrastructure supports the flow and processing of information consisting of hardware, software, data, and network components.
From vision to implementation. Architecture translates strategy into infrastructure. It provides a blueprint for translating business strategy into a plan for IS. IT infrastructure is everything that supports the flow and processing of information in an organization, including hardware, software, data, and network components. Building a house is a practical example of this translation. The owner's vision is equivalent to the organization's strategy. They must decide on a strategy about where to live, in an apartment or in a house. The owner's strategy also includes deciding how to live in the house by taking advantage of a beautiful view or having an open floor plan. The architect's plans are similar to the organization's architecture. The architect develops plans based on this vision. The organization's infrastructure is equivalent to the builder's implementation. The blueprints provide a guide for the carpenters, plumbers, and electricians who actually construct the house. Leap from strategy to architecture to infrastructure. The manager must start out with a business strategy and then develop more specific goals. Then detailed business requirements are derived from each goal. The manager must work with the architect to translate these business requirements into a more detailed view of the IT architecture. Take an example of TennisUp, a fictitious racket manufacturer. One of their strategic goals is to lower costs by outsourcing racket manufacturing. Their business requirements were to reflect key interfaces to new manufacturing partners, such as sending forecasts from sales to manufacturing partners. Their architectural requirements include creating databases to obtain, store, and use data. There are various types of architectures. The mainframe architecture uses a large central computer that handles all the functionality of the system. The client-server architecture is one in which the client software program requests and receives data from the server's software running on a separate computer. Service-oriented architecture is large software programs broken down into services that are then connected to each other to form the applications for an entire business process. Web-oriented architectures are architectures in which significant hardware, software, and possibly even data elements reside on the internet.
Architectural principles. These principles are designed by considering the key objectives of the organization and then translated into principles to apply to the design of IT architecture. These must be consistent with the both values of the enterprise as well as with the technology used in the infrastructure.
Architecture to infrastructure. Following on from the previous slide, the architecture requirements coupled with the basic components of translation, that is hardware, software, data, and network, gives us the infrastructure. We are going to explain this by taking the previous TennisUp manufacturer example. The framework components are hardware. Who is responsible for the setting up the hardware? Software. Will the current database interface with the new EDI software? Network. Where will TennisUp house new networking hardware required for EDI? Data. Which formats must TennisUp translate?
Managerial considerations. The manager should include the future impacts, which are, number one, understanding existing architecture. This allows the manager to evaluate the IT requirements of an evolving business strategy against current IT capacity. Number two, assessing strategic time frame. The time frame depends on industry-wide factors such as level of commitment to fixed resources and maturity of the industry. Number three, assessing technical issues. The architecture should be able to handle expected technological advances. The technical issues are adaptability, scalability, standardization, maintainability, and security. Number four, assessing financial issues. Payback from IT investments are often difficult to quantify. The manager's effort can be simplified if he works through the following steps. Quantify costs, determine the anticipated life cycles of system components, quantify benefits, quantify risks, consider ongoing costs and benefits.
The girl them skill arty. Shonda Paul, some give it to, some give it to, some give it to our girls. 5 million and 40 naughty.
Time frame. This depends on the architecture requirements coupled with the basic requirements. Like factors such as level of commitment to. I'll start it again.
Managerial considerations. The managerial considerations. The manager should include
Managerial considerations. The manager should include the future. The manager should include the future architecture, which allows the manager to evaluate the IT requirements of an.
Let me do this then. I'm the only one doing fucking work here, you guys.
Oh!
Frame architecture uses a large central computer that handles all the functionality of the system. The client-server architecture is one in which the client...
What is the first thing that comes in mind when you think of us? I mean, when our picture comes to your mind?
It's a very good team. I'm lucky to have.
That's true. Yeah,
okay.
that's it.
The movie itself is a bullshit. Yeah.
Tactics to turn you on, and girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be the mom. Oh, girl, know some crazy now. This straight love it and a Bridget and flavor show. Time to make baby now, so stop going like you, I get shady, yo. Woman, don't play me now, cause I'm a fits and fat, not greedy, yo. My loving is the way to go, my loving is the way to go. Well, woman, the way the time cold, I wanna be keeping you warm. I got the right temperature for shelter you from the storm. Hold on, girl, I got the right tactics to turn you on. And girl, I wanna be the papa, you can be